Hello and welcome to another episode of Squirtified Engineering. It's time for another wash.
GoPro, stop GoPro.
I will also follow up with the service, so I will change air filter, oil filter, coupe filter and oil if I have enough. And as you can see, it's very dirty. I'm not really proud of this, but yeah, a wash is very much needed. So we will start with the Bollnäs Bilvård HD degreaser, and we will keep it at like only up to here. And I'm applying this on a mostly dry car, and I'm well aware that I'm mostly working with the top layer of the dirt. I think it's fine. So I will just leave this on until it starts to dry, but not fully dry. So now we will continue with this, which is like a pre-wash, Arctic Green, Bollnäs Bilvård, so alcoholic degreaser. I have that prepared here. So I will cover the entire car. Well, I will give it a little bit of time to work a bit on the dirt. I will now do another coat of Arctic Green. Actually, I'm not the one who would be doing this.
Att det är samma som du gjorde,
Ja,
bara sidan,
ja.
inte...
So the nozzle in this is too small, so it's not enough to start the high pressure washer.
Den här är lagt på väggen också.
Kom tillbaka. Jag bara tar över motorutrymmet. Men det gör inget. Kör på. So we will let this sit for a short bit. And I'm well aware of the risks of washing the engine bay. So it's now time for shampoo. I already have that here. So I will move my foam lens over, but first I will wash it a bit. So this is Bollnäs Bilvård DBV shampoo. So same brand as the previous two products. And again, since the nozzle is what it is, I will start it. First start high pressure washer, and with this I will do one round, I think, without a sponge, and then the round after would be with a sponge, and yeah, I think that's it. I will actually do the sponging now, and Sid will have one sponge and help me out. I will now rinse it off. are starting to get there. There's not much dirt left, but let's do another round of shampooing, and this time with the hood closed. I guess you can see why it's a good idea to do it with the hood closed, because then I see the area that I missed. That was
Nice.
so. Okay. Are you having fun?
Ja.
Hoppa. So by using the sponges, we have a mechanical contact, which will remove the traffic film and so on that we can't get with fluids alone. If I had taken better care of this car and washed it like I should, then I wouldn't need to do the sponging right now. I think the washing is complete, so let's move it over to the 4-post lift. Here we have the service parts that I will be changing. Air filter, cup filter, oil filter, and this is just a maybe, the fuel filter. And hopefully you will be able to see a bit more than my previous video where I worked on my Peugeot. So while we are under the car, I just raised it up. I will check the pressure in the spare wheel. So it's 0. Three bars of boost, I wish. And also I looked for a fuel filter, but I couldn't find one, so I guess my car is without it, or it's built into the pump thingy inside the tank. So as it turns out, I have about 5 liters of oil, so I will do the oil change as well. So then we have 21 millimeter socket, no sorry, 24. They also have the cord edge, yeah, that one. This oil is very black, and before raising the car I undid the oil filler cap just so that we don't work against the vacuum. So on the oil drain plug we used to have a copper washer, but since the oil pan is aluminum I'm switching to an aluminum washer. Just because we otherwise get galvanic currents. Might not be a lot, but might as well stay away from it. So I will just wipe this off a little and then thread in the plug again. And you won't be able to remove all the old oil, and even if you were able to drain the entire pan, you would still have oil left in some crevices here and there. Something like that. Just a tiny bit of brake cleaner so that I will be able to tell if it's leaking. So we will start with the oil filter. And as you can see, I have the two extensions and then a 27 millimeter. And then I go down, get it on. Then okay, so now it's undone. So there was a bit of oil in that housing. So I have a pan underneath to catch it, most of it at least. Ow. Here you can see that it's 25.5 Newton meters. So it's not a lot. What you should do, which I did a bit late, is compare the new oil filter with the old one, just to see that it's the correct one. You should always replace the O-ring, which seals off the lid. We'll install the new one. Snaps in. If you're unsure about the threading, then just thread it anti-clockwise until you feel that it sort of jumps into the thread, and then thread it properly clockwise to tighten it. "25 Newton meters is not a lot. Like so. Then again, I will need to use some brake cleaner. So now let's do the Cope QP filter. So it's inside here. Just sort of have to feel it. And there we have that one. And the new Bosch filter. Looks to be same size. And then we'll install it like this. No tools required. Okay. I guess that's it. This one had a plastic edge, made it sit a bit tighter. So the next thing is the air filter. So in order to remove that, we need a Phillips head screw. We need to remove one worm clamp and the PVC hose. The tricky thing is the screws all the way inside. Right. And while I'm doing this, Sid is applying a coat of wax on the car. So I'm using this small stubby screwdriver. You could also get away with using a bits adapter and a spanner. So the PVC hose, you just press on the yellow part and then pull it loose. So now I will see if it's loose. No, sorry. I have one screw here which was cut. Not sure. Let me make sure that the filter is fully seated in this box. So when reinstalling this, it can be a bit tricky, but the lower part of the air filter box have a little bit to give, like so. I think it was too much open. We won't have. So down here I'm pushing out the air filter box, getting it in place, and then so now I will open up the worm clamp a little bit again. I think that's it. the worm clamp was getting stuck on something. So while tightening it, I'm also repositioning it. Oops. And just until it feels tight. And then I can install the screws. And then the PCV goes like that. Are you having fun? You sure?
Can I get warm?
Okay, so now that's done, we have some fluids to fill in. We have oil, and I also, well, my friend actually pointed out that I'm lacking coolant, so I will need to take care of that. I'm mixing a bit using what oil I have left, and in here I have about 2 liters. Here we have the oil stick. We will use it to read out how much oil I have in the engine. So we need a lot more. The level wasn't even visible on the dipstick. Now it seems to be pretty much perfect. We'll close this off. So for the coolant. And then that's done. So I will now start the engine to see if I have any leaks and see that it's functioning. Also to rotate the oil in the system, to circulate the oil in the system, and double check the level after 10 minutes or whatever it is. So now you need to wait a few minutes or 10 and then read the oil level again. I will anyway have the remaining oil as spare in the trunk and goes with coolant. The coolant level is now okay. So even in the back it looks a lot nicer. The floor mats are still a bit wet, but that's okay. The dirtiest place was of course the driver's side, the front. So yeah, I will do the floor mat cleaner so that I can get all the dirt. But as a course cleaning, it's very good. Okay, so I think this episode is finished. We have made a proper wash of the car, heavy duty degreaser, light duty degreaser, shampooing in 2 rounds. Sid have waxed the car, and I did a service, so replaced the oil filter, replaced the oil, replaced the air filter, replaced the coupe filter, topped up the coolant. So hopefully this one is better than the previous starter motor replacement video. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Stay safe. Take care. Bye bye.